So you're seeing them build a full blockade, really, of razor wire. It's wrapped around from the base of the mountain, and they're doing it all the way around. This is where the ancestors are buried, Native American ancestors. This is where the peaceful protectors came yesterday to try and pray. They crossed they crossed the water source, and the state police up there and heavy militarized weaponry basically, try to get them to move away from their own ancestors' burial ground. And now they're disrespecting and desecrating the burial ground by putting a row of razor wire around. Presumably, they might put several rows of razor wire around so that if Native Americans cross, they're not able to go any further. So this is North Dakota. You have the state police, which are I call the oil police, working with the private security company for Dakota Access Pipeline. You have these people up there supposed to be protecting the people, but instead they're protecting the security workers who are basically shitting and desecrating on ancestral burial ground. So this will most likely only escalate tensions further between the Native Americans and their water protectors that are all together as one: natives, non-natives, and the North Dakota police, who have been tear gassing people, shooting people with rubber bullets, now firing off grenades, among other things. The thing that's interesting to me is when white people are watching this, this is absolutely stunning to them. Like, so I hear people saying, I want to vomit, I'm crying, but every time I speak with a Native American, it's like you're so used to this type of atrocities being done that it's not at all surprising. Can you kind of explain, how do you deal with this? Because I hear a lot. We pray for the police, we pray for them, but as someone who is a little bit more of a angry New Yorker, it's remarkable to me that you could even have that kind of feeling.
Well, yeah, of course. Our ancestors were oppressed. And they were more or less tried to be. They tried to annihilate them off the face of the earth. So they went through a lot of generational trauma. I mean, a lot of trauma, which in turn is generational trauma to our people. And there was a lot of strength and a lot of bravery in them too. So along with that trauma, we also inherited that bravery and that strength. We inherited what they preserved for us, the war zones. And that's why we have the highest percentage of U.S. Armed Forces members, is because, we feel that need to protect, that need to preserve what is sacred and what is essential for life, which is, of course, water. Yeah, and then through the 60s and the 70s, especially in Pine Ridge Reservation, with the AIM occupation of Wounded Knee, there was a standoff there between my people and AIM against the United States government and certain factions, tribal factions at that time I won't get into, but so we that was my grandparents' struggle. They started that struggle for human and civil rights after the United States passed the Civil Rights Act. It felt like we were left out. So, our struggle began, and we're still fighting it right here. It feels like it reached a point where we started to become so Americanized, a majority of our population, where it was things like this are on the back burner, but there's always that fire that's still inside of us that keeps us vigilant to the atrocities committed by people like this, and that's part of that inheritance too. And we'll always be able to withstand whatever they throw at us.
Last question. What's your message to President Obama, who obviously comes from a different tribe, but is first African American president, came here years ago, made promises to the Lakota, to Standing Rock. Obviously, he knows what's going on here, even though the mainstream media is not reporting it accurately. He knows what's going on here.
Well, first of all, Mr. Obama, President Obama, I voted for you in both elections that you won. I supported you I think that you have done some of the most amazing things that I've seen any president ever do in my 47 years. I had high hopes for you to be the best president in the history of the United States. I seen you come here to Cannonball and tell us, Lakota Nation, that you are a friend of the Lakota Nation and that we need to build nations together. And here we have the Dakota Access Pipeline coming to destroy a major river of the United States. And not only is it drinking water for 18 million people, but it also is the lifeline, the blood that feeds the breadbasket of America. How can you put all these farms and ranches that white Americans will rely on at risk? It's going to feed America. What's going to happen when we don't have that and the Pacific Ocean is so poisoned that there's a shortage of seafood there, and then we have this shortage? Why can't you see that? Why would you put at risk the lives of so many Americans, the lives of humanity, the planet? I don't understand it. You have a lot to answer to my people, to the American people, not just the Native Americans. You have time to do something. And if you do it right, and if you do it with your heart, you're going to do it so that this can never happen again.